What's happening, everybody? I'm Robert Price, your productivity coach, helping you focus on what matters most. This is Productivity Boss Moves, episode 5. One productivity hack that will improve your relationships. So this is Valentine's week, so a lot of people are focused on relationships, whether they're in a relationship or not in a relationship. It's just a big topic of conversation this week. So, from a productivity perspective, one of the things, I realize and they found out through research is that, when your relationships are not, peaceful or at a state of harmony and in good standing, it's something that really keeps open windows in your mind that causes really a hindrance when it comes to your rate of executing and producing in your life. So, I really want to talk about, this important topic as it relates to your productivity and how you can keep your relationships in a quality state so that you're free to be productive, as things progress in your life. So it's coming down to one simple principle, but I'm going to break that principle down for you in a few steps. So the principle is, if you can follow me, schedule quality time. You can see it on the board there. Schedule quality time. And I want to break that down for you. So that's the main thing, but here's the breakdown to it. What you want to do is you want to calculate the amount. So let me speak about it from this perspective. There is a book that I read, His Needs, Her Needs. It's a, marriage book. And the author of the book, Bill Harley, he talks about, how really every marriage needs 15 hours of quality time every week in order for the, people in that marriage to stay in love. And I know when we hear that, man, 15 hours, I thought I was doing good with one date night where we get a few hours in and we keep it moving the rest of the week. But hear this gentleman's logic with this. He said, when you're dating or courting or whatever it is, you spend quality time every single day. Either on the phone, you're going out to eat, going to a movie or whatever it is. So that time, you end up falling in love during that time. But through marriage and, the way guys are designed, sometimes we hunt. Our pastor talked about it this morning. He just said, we like to hunt. And then when we, catch our prey, if you will, we kind of set it up on the shelf as a trophy. But what Dr. Harley was saying in this book is that you really need to schedule this quality time with your spouse. And, it could be 10 to 15 hours with your spouse that you need to schedule to keep that, keep that blazing, keep an A in your marriage. But in other relationships, you have to determine, okay, what's that amount of time? It's not going to be 10 to 15 hours with my son, but I need to figure out, okay, what is the amount of time that I have to spend with him in order to maintain that A, or my mom, or other extended family members? What do I have to do, or to at least get a B, or just know where I'm at? So that's number one, figuring out what is the amount of time I need to dedicate to this relationship to keep it healthy, right? And then number two is going to be it's going to be define quality time. So what quality time means to my wife is different than what quality time, means to my son. My wife likes to watch a lot of shows. You know, The Office is a classic one that she got me to fall in love with, that we both love, and we just watch. It never gets old. We can watch it over and over again. It's hilarious. We like to play cards, board games, go to the movies, go out to eat, different things like that. But with my son, quality time for him may be, him sitting on my lap, maybe watching Paw Patrol, or we're playing with trucks, or we're playing characters, or he's in the, he's doing playing with different toys, role playing with me. So, it may be doing something like that. So once I figure that out, I know, okay, this is the amount of time, the 10 hours or whatever the case may be. But now this is what we need to be doing during that time. So that means I don't need to be on my phone scrolling Facebook, scrolling, Twitter or any other social media, but I need to be dedicating, locked in to that to that time with my son or with my wife or whoever, I'm valuing and is mattering most to me at that time. And then the last thing you're going to do is you're going to look at your schedule. So you're going to, once you figure out, okay, what's the amount of time that's needed to keep this relationship healthy, and what activities need to take place in keeping that relationship healthy, then you're going to look at your own schedule and what's realistic to what I can do, and not to burn myself out, right? So if I need to start small here with a half an hour and build up over time, that's what I need to do. But it needs to be something that works for your schedule, and it needs to be something that works for your schedule consistently. So I'll just open up. One of the things I've been struggling with is with my extended family. I've been scheduling time with my son and my wife, but with my extended family, in terms of my mom, my grandparents, and, certain distant relatives that I would love to keep more close contact with, I discovered why I don't. I'm looking at the reason, and why don't I keep in contact as much as I should? Well, part of the reason is, throughout the week I'm busy doing stuff, for my businesses, and I'm not necessarily, I don't necessarily see a window of time where I could just fit in a conversation and kind of lose my way. And I'm kind of like, how long is this gonna take? And if I can't control it, then now, okay, I don't have it. And then now it goes on for too long where I'm not having those important conversations. So what I'm realizing what I need to do is Sundays is a more wide open day where I can have all those conversations with the people I need to have them with on that day. And so throughout the week, I'm not worried about, I don't really have the time. And things come up where you need to have conversations here and there. But I'm just saying, in general, I can be consistent with, okay, Sunday, boom, this time to this time, I can make those phone calls. And, that can be something that can build up the quality of my relationships, because one quote that I heard from Eric Thomas one time, that really stuck with me is this: that you can fake it like you care, but you can't fake it like you're there. And that's really key. People say all the time, I was thinking about you, or whatever the case may be, but if that person is never communicated with those thoughts, if they never hear from you, then it's like, I gotta go off of what you're saying, but I don't know that, and I would know that if you were there. So, and we have to prioritize our relationships, prioritize the list, because everybody's at a different level. So for instance, my wife is a number one. So let's say if you rank people 1 through 5, my wife is a number 1 because there's things that I have to give to my wife that nobody else on this earth can give to her, in terms of the providing, the provision, and the, intimacy, or whatever else comes in terms of that's exclusive to a marriage relationship. She can't get that from any other person. So I have to be there for her, number 1. And my son is the same thing. There's certain things that he has to get from me as his father that can't get from any other person. So they're number 1s. And then, I have my mom and my grandparents and, you know, my sister and, you know, just different family members that are really important to me. And then so forth. So you have that list that you really have to determine. So when you do this, I would say, okay, put first things first. Start with the number ones in your life. You know, it could be your spouse and your children or whatever your setup is. You may not be married, but whatever that setup is, do the number ones, then number twos, and so forth, and try to get a rhythm with it. But this scheduling time, even if it's just a quick 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes, whatever it is, doesn't have to be long. But if you can get it consistent, that's something that's going to raise the quality of your relationships and essentially raise the quality of your life, because these are open windows that won't be open anymore because you will have a good handle on your relationships. So that's all for today. This is Productivity Boss Moves episode 5. One productivity hack that will improve your relationships. I'm Robert Price, your productivity coach, helping you focus on what matters most. If this video was helpful to you, like, subscribe, share. See you next week. You guys have a lovely week.